One of the things we talk about in CoCubed is that startups have invented the future, and as corporates and brands, we have a real opportunity to scale that future. A company that is doing that right at their heart is Mars, and to tell you more, please welcome Gary.
Hello. Hello. Can you guys hear me okay? All right, so I was in the back. It was very loud, so I'm going to try to enunciate a little bit better. But, oh, here we go. Very nice to meet everybody. And like my buddy said, it's great to be back in real life to conferences. I was talking to my lady, and I was like, she's like, when was the last time, you went to a conference? And I was like, it's been a very, very long time. And it's really good to come and see the community, the energy, the network of advertisers, disruptors. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about how at Mars we are thinking about innovation. My name is Gulrez. My nickname is Gary. Gary is not my American name. It was a name since I was born with. So I have to justify because all my brown friends are like, you're a sellout. I was like, not really. It's been my name since I was born. So Gary, Gulrez doesn't matter. I've spent majority of my time in US. I was in New York. Now I live in London as of 3 months ago. And yeah, it's really good to be here, connect with this community that we work very closely with. So quick snapshot of what Mars is. Assuming you guys are sitting here, you guys have an idea. It's one of the largest privately held businesses, 40 billion in revenue. We do have $10 billion brands. So we are pretty much anywhere and everywhere you can imagine, except for being at Mars. We are working on that with Elon. We'll see what happens. Today is about innovation, and I wanted to start by saying Mars has been at the leading edge of innovation from probably a century ago. If you really look at this, M&M's chocolate was one of the first chocolates that did not melt in your hand because of the hard coating that was around it, and was given in World War II to people, to the soldiers, so they could have sustenance as part of something that could travel well. On the right side, we have Uncle Ben's, which you guys know now as Ben's Original, was one of the first brands that provided ultra convenience of rice that could have been cooked in under 1 minute. So talking about innovation, that's been at the heartland of how the founders had built the business. And at Mars, when we're thinking about innovation, we're really thinking about it from a lens of 3 different things. So we look at it from the lens of human value. So whatever we are working on, does that truly solve a pain point? Does it get a job done? Societal value, does it add value to the planet that we live in, to the well-being of the world around us? And lastly, all good innovations need to make money, both top line and bottom line. So for us, as we think about what are we innovating on, those are fundamentally the 3 pillars that we look at. So as part of the innovation program at Mars, and Mars has several ways where we are innovating. Launchpad in particular, which is a program that I lead, and we've been working on it for the last 4 years, is all about looking at innovations in the way we market, sell, and launch new brands. So Launchpad is a partnership program at Mars where we partner with emerging startups, emerging tech startups, especially in media, advertising, content, and sometimes in emerging technologies. And then also, we have recently launched a venture studio. We're incubating homegrown brands within the umbrella of our businesses. Really what's at the heart of why we put the program together is because we realize at Mars, we have this insane scale muscle. So when you're a $40 billion business in multiple geographies, there's the beauty of scale, which is inherent in the business. But what ends up happening is when you have that much scale, you lose some of that speed and agility. So for us, the idea was how do we find the middle, the magic in the middle of combining speed and scale, which is why we want to work with entrepreneurs. Some of them are here. We work with our teams that are working dramatically differently and reimagining how we launch and incubate new brands within this big behemoth enterprise. So Launchpad has been around for 4 years. We haven't really done a massive public splash, but we've been at it. We've been at it for about 4 years. We've done about 65 pilots around the world. We have 6 new ventures that we launched in the last 2 years. We have several innovations, and there are partners like Ogiri, there's Tagger, Billion Dollar Boy. There are brands and startups here that we have worked with throughout the last 4 years that have now gone on to scale beyond the pilot. So that's some of the innovations that we have scale. And in return, our give back to the organization is the enterprise value that's been generated as a result of that. And really, the question is what are we innovating on? I mean, it's been probably said over and over again that COVID has accelerated some of the underlying trends, and that's no different for our business as well. So the 4 areas where we are really focused on is, the first one is around how do we drive meaningful and personal consumer experiences. So everything from media to commerce to post-purchase to in-store, how do we make sure that we're reaching the right consumer at the right time, delivering the right message? So if you're a startup or a business that is working on driving the right reach, the right way to convert, we'd love to speak to you. And I think that is one of the big pillars for us. How do we go from a company that has been obsessed with mass reach to much more intelligent reach is the transition we are making. The next one is integrated commerce. This is really around the new world of live shopping, shoppable commerce, so really connecting the point of inspiration to point of where the conversion happens, and how do you really streamline it. Also, 95% of our business is still done in physical stores. So if you guys are building solutions that also can come to life in retail environments, that is of high interest to us. Next one is purpose. A lot of our brands have spent a lot of time re-looking at what do they stand for and what's their mission in the world. And our role at Launchpad is to take that mission and really use technology to really spread it out in a very meaningful way. So if you guys are working on startups that have connection with purpose at the heart of it, we'd love to connect to you guys as well. And lastly is reimagining channels. And this is really around how do we, if you look at our business, a large part of our business is snacks and treats, stuff that you find on impulse when you're checking out of grocery stores. Guess what? There are not going to be any checkouts, right? Like, we're moving towards this hyper seamless world. So how do we reimagine what checkout or impulse of the future is going to look like? And I'll give you guys an example on each one of them so it can really contextualize what I mean by these 4 areas. Fair? All right. So first up is meaningfully personal relationship. This is one of the new ventures that we launched in the US called Snickers Protein. Everybody knows what Snickers is. This is a brand, this is a sub-brand within Snickers that focused on health and nutrition. It existed in the UK for 2 years. Our team was tasked with reimagining how we launch it in the US. So we took a very different approach, which was really digital first, direct to consumer. And the goal for us was, how do we truly understand who the target audiences are, who the high value consumers are, and then build a brand around it. So our team used performance marketing, data-driven marketing to really hone in on who are going to be the right buyers for Snickers Protein. We were able to deliver 4 ROAS, really reduce CACs by 60% by using a digital-first model. Next one is a video that I'll play that talks about how we built an integrated commerce experience to drive peer-to-peer gifting. So this is a video, hopefully you guys can hear it when I play it. And this is around bringing to life an occasion, which is gifting in our category is a pretty big thing, right? So Halloween, Valentine's Day. And the idea here was, how do we promote everyday gifting? What if, like, I just want to tell my friend thank you or I love you and do that via one of our products? So how do we bring to life a peer-to-peer gifting platform? And this is an example of how we did that through partnerships with a few startups. Hopefully you guys can hear it.
Splashed by a car, that's a mood. See a cute pup? Big mood. Get a Snickers from a friend? Hello, big mood gifting. With sales lagging among people under 35, Snickers needed an innovative way to reach these tech-savvy shoppers. With the team at Launchpad, Mars Wrigley's global innovation platform, we developed a digital micro-gifting program that inspired Walmart shoppers to gift the same way they already shared online. Simply, relatably, totally hilarious. When shoppers saw these displays in Walmart stores across the country, they were directed to the Big Mood Gifting microsite via mobile-based technologies like a scannable QR code and SMS text code. When they texted the code, a chat box offered some fun back and forth to help shoppers decide who to surprise with a big gift mood. On the microsite, YouTube star Callie-owned Fox brought each of our 6 moods to life with over-the-top energy. Social media teased these moods and got people excited to check them out and send a Snickers to a friend. Once people picked a mood and personalized it, we sent their friend a text. Each gift included a big mood video and a gift card for 1 Snickers bar. That way they can save to their mobile wallet with Pop Wallet and redeem at Walmart. The results were nothing short of 2 thumbs up emojis. With an ROI of 5.61, the program garnered 37.1 million impressions and a 7.4% increase in sales. To make Big Mood Gifting such a big-time hit, Mars Wrigley brought together a team of digital experts and creative pioneers. This integration led to a multi-channel program that seamlessly connected people, made them laugh, and drove sales of Snickers at Walmart. Talk about a mood.
So that was an example of how we brought media in-store, a few startups that were really delivering seamless experiences across omni-channel and kind of creatively wrapped it in this peer-to-peer gifting platform. And now we're looking to see how do we use this underlying technology to help our pet brands as well, where you might want to gift somebody anything part of our pet portfolio. Next example is of purpose. Very recently in the US, we launched a consumer-facing app called Nose ID. I don't know if you guys knew, but pets' noses are like fingerprints for humans. So each pet is unique with their own nose print. And the idea of Nose ID is to eradicate pet homelessness. So we have built a marketplace app where you as a pet owner can go scan your pet's nose as a way to upload their features, upload their profile, and God forbid if they're lost, on the other end you have people that have the app that'll help you find them using the dog's nose print. So what essentially we're building and what we are helping to build is a marketplace platform to match lost dogs with their owners. And the role that our team played was essentially helping bring this app to life in a fundamentally different way than how we launch our consumer brands. This was very grassroots effort, starting town by town, almost how Uber launched their business to match riders and drivers, is how we are tactically approaching this, which is very different than how we usually do our big brand launches. Next up is an example of Reimagining Channels. And this one is one of our latest innovations where we are reimagining the world without checkouts. We know a lot of the business that we do happens in checkout, like I shared with you guys. The idea is if the checkout is going to go away, how do we bring that same experience to you in store? In comes Smiley, which is a roving shelf powered by autonomous robotics that is essentially providing consumers the same experience you would have at a checkout, but now is an autonomous robot that roves around the aisles of a store. This particular one is in a store in New York. We're launching the new version, which is a bit more visually in line with the category that is going to be actually launched yesterday. So we are continuing to reimagine what retail of the future might look like, and that's a big part of what we do. So I hope that gave you guys an idea of what Launchpad is all about, what we are working on. And in short, I had a few learnings that we have had along the 4-year journey that I wanted to share with you guys. And this is relevant for both if you're a corporate, a startup, and for us, it served us really well throughout the journey. So some of this are going to be things obvious, but no harm repeating them. But first one is, take time to really identify what you're solving. And are they real pain points? We've been guilty of doing stuff that actually is solving our problem as a brand versus solving a consumer pain point. And very quickly you realize that if you're solving for yourself versus the consumer, things don't work. And so that's at the heart of it. Connected to that is be consumer obsessed, customer, whatever you want to call them, shopper. I mean, for us, if we are not talking to consumers every day, it's absolutely pointless to build stuff that doesn't keep consumer at the heart of it. The next one is super important. It's been a big personal learning, is how do you become very much in tune with culture, tech, and how a P&L works. I think for me, everything happens via culture, and if you can connect technology to culture and then understand how to make money, that's where magic happens. So that's been a huge learning. Next one is collaborate and form coalitions. I mean, we are at the heart of it. We are a partnership program. For us, it's all about working in partnership to create solutions. So for us, this is very much, we absolutely believe that the sum of all parts is greater than individuals. So we definitely want to partner with the smartest people. And also, the partnerships don't have to be just startups. It can be other corporates as well. And lastly is solve for scale, but buckle up for speed. I mean, for other innovation programs and corporations, I know that there are teams that radically think different, that try to embrace the startup playbook within corporate, and at times it's tough. But if you can find that right balance, it is absolutely incredible in terms of creating business value. So I'll leave you all with the last slide, which is get in touch with us if you feel like this is, if the areas that I shared are of relevance with whatever you're building. Drop us an email. We have a website that's going to be launching soon where we'll be announcing 4 to 5 different briefs where startups can apply for fully funded pilots that we can then turn into, hopefully, into some scalable solutions. So that's all I had. Thank you, everybody.
Hold the mic. We've got time for a couple of questions. If you use the app, you can then submit some questions and we can go through those with Gary. Gary, that was great. Really good overview of what you're doing and super exciting to see it all coming to life as well. You had some quite impressive stats there in terms of the impact that these companies are having on the organization. Can you talk through, I mean, you shared some examples. How do you calculate the value that startups are bringing, and what sort of startups are you looking for?
Yeah, so the way we calculate value, it's pilot to pilot. So if we are working with a startup where the focus is to drive efficiency in media, then we would calculate, did it accomplish that? Okay. Then the enterprise value is when we actually scale it. Because a pilot is, generally in a market with a brand, and if it delivers value, the true value for us is not just one brand, is how do we take it around the world and really scale that. So that's how we are calculating value. Yeah.
Cool. And you flashed the email before. Is that the best way for startups to engage, or are you actually?
Yeah, there's a couple of members of Launchpad team that are here, Danny and Shwetal. So, we'll be around for the rest of the day. If you guys are building something of interest, which you guys saw on the presentation, please let's chat.
Okay. Brilliant. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
All right.